Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Finn is really honest with Steffy. According to Monday, February 24, 2025, Bold and the Beautiful weekly spoilers, Finn finally musters the courage to say what Poppy pleaded with him not to. Daphne performs her duties. When John Finnegan revealed to Steffy Forrester Finnegan that he had slept with his aunt when he was just 18, Steffy was incredibly sympathetic. Indeed, it was his first time, and they were not blood relatives. Steffy was appalled that her husband was being exploited in that manner. She tried her best to reassure him, but as Finn revealed that there was a lot more to the story, she felt concerned. Must read, spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Will Thomas Forrester's role be recast? Steffy braces herself and considers how things could possibly get worse, even though she has no idea what Finn will say. Finn then informs her. Luna Nozawa, the serial killer cousin who put Steffy in a cage and abandoned her to die last summer, was the product of that night with Poppy Nozawa. Steffy is in shock over this information. She was already dealing with the fact that Finn's mother was Sheila Carter. His daughter is now another murderer. All of this is simply too much, and Steffy is unsure about how she will handle this information. Although she has a deep affection for her spouse, his family members have the potential to literally and figuratively murder her. Luna continues to lice. When air conditioner repairman Remy Price starts asking too many questions, Luna, the serial killer cousin daughter, has to talk herself out of a difficult situation. He is certain that he has seen her previously. She must have been the insane murderous intern he had read about. Luna needs to think quickly and keep her identity and purpose at Bill Spencer's residence a secret. She should be in jail and never let anyone know she's there, but she talks to Remy because she's so desperate to talk to someone but Bill. Luna ought to cut back on her conversations with so many people and never open the front door. In Steffy's Luna's shock, Finn explains. Here are the spoilers for Monday, February 24, 2025's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Fans can anticipate hearing the remaining portion of John Finnegan's confession in the upcoming episode. Can Shin survive after finding out that Luna Nozawa is Finn's daughter? Let's discuss what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Finnegan's admission by John. On Monday, February 24, Finn will keep being honest with his wife. Steffy is currently aware that Finn and Penelope Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, shared a bed for a long time. Steffy said that he was still a child and a family member, even if Finn claimed to be 18. Finn's wife tried to comfort him, but he felt embarrassed to tell her this anyway. But Steffy doesn't have the whole story. Finn is bringing up old history for a reason. The shock of Steffy Forrester Finnegan. Fans should anticipate that Finn will complete giving his wife the entire story when Monday's episode airs. Finn will clarify that Poppy denied that the baby was his when he asked her years ago. Additionally, Finn will inform Steffy that 2 DNA tests he performed show that Luna is his child. Steffy is going to be appalled. Steffy may also question whether Finn is considering moving forward with a relationship with Luna. Steffy isn't going to tolerate another murderer-in-law after putting up with one previously. The destiny of Luna Nozawa. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Finn and Steffy will have to decide how the Luna bomb will affect their marriage. A sneak peek, nevertheless, suggests that Finn will soon face Luna. Finn knocks on Bill Spencer's door for an unknown cause. When Luna opens the door, Finn receives the biggest shock of his life. Monday, February 24, spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Finn explains Steffy's Luna shock. February 24, 2025, Monday. Fans may also witness Poppy's reaction upon learning of Finn's confession. Poppy may be in a frantic attempt to repair Lee Finnegan's, Naomi Matsuda, damage. Is Poppy going to accuse Finn of lying? Will Poppy attempt to portray herself as the victim and place the blame on him? Additionally, there is the circumstance with Luna and Remy Price. The two appear to have met for the first time. Remy is already aware of Luna's transgressions. Although it doesn't appear to be an alliance, perhaps both parties are seeking a new beginning. Naturally, once Luna is released from house arrest, will they be able to start over together? Luna faces Finn, Daphne's kiss, Sheila vs. Poppy. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, a teaser clip for the week of February 24, 2025, has been made public. It depicts a tense exchange between Penelope Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, and Sheila Carter Sharp. John Finn Finnegan is up against Luna Nozawa. Additionally, as Hope Logan listens in, Daphne Rose gives Carter Walton a kiss. The Gatebreaker, by Daphne Rose. Daphne and Carter open the preview. Daphne sits at a table and looks directly into Carter's eyes. Carter constructed all of these gates, according to Daphne, but she sees through them. Cross-marketing to the core, beyond the gates. Returning to the scenario, it appears that Carter is being manipulated by Daphne. You can sense that Daphne is beginning to get to Carter even if he doesn't say anything in this specific scene. The kiss of Carter Walton. Daphne draws Carter in for a kiss, while Hope stands in a doorway at Forrester Creations, watching. A passionate, deep kiss, not just any kiss. Hope is shooting Daphne and Carter with daggers. But if Hope does this incorrectly, she could also lose a lot. It's also necessary to consider if Hope is upset about the kiss or whether it means she's losing her golden ticket. Perhaps this is the reason Hope refrained from confronting Carter about their earlier intimate moment with Daphne. Perhaps Hope is more concerned with power than love. Sharp Sheila Carter vs. Nozawa Poppy. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Sheila and Poppy will cross paths during the week of February 24th. You will never know Finn as intimately as I do, Sheila remarks to Poppy as she sits at the bar at Il Giardino. Poppy almost spits out her drink before tipping the glass over. In an attempt to avoid getting her lovely pink blouse wet, Sheila leaps back. Sheila will definitely be annoyed by Poppy betting a young Finn if that doesn't irritate her. The face-off with Luna Nozawa. Finn rings the doorbell at Bill Spencer's estate. Luna is startled to discover Finn standing there when she responds. It's not just Luna who is taken aback. How are Bill and Luna going to explain this to Finn, then? Will Bill punish Luna for disobeying the law by sending her back to prison? Recall that Luna was informed that no one could detect her presence. Not only does Finn now know, but Remy Price does as well. Keep checking back, because it looks like Bill has a lot of explaining to do. What is the plot that you are most excited to see? Steffy keeps Ridge in line by using his medical proxy. In a turn of events that only the high-stakes drama of Bold and the Beautiful can provide, Sheila's obsession with every detail of Luna's downfall escalated into an all-consuming crusade for control and vindication, resulting in a stark contrast between a once formidable schemer and an equally relentless enforcer of retribution. Luna's carefully guarded world of secrets finally came to an end in a cascade of revelations that left her reputation in ruins and revealed the hidden machinations that had kept her in power for so long. Luna had been working behind the scenes at Forrester Creations for years, constructing a network of half-truths and covert connections that enabled her to move through the perilous hallways of corporate intrigue and personal grudges with an almost sublime level of artistry. However, as the pressure increased and her carefully crafted facade started to crumble under the constant scrutiny of both insiders and ardent fans, every carefully kept secret and whispered rumor was exposed in a scandal that left her busted in a way that was both spectacular and devastating. The turning point occurred during a crucial board meeting when a trusted associate made a remark that was inappropriate for a private group of confidants. This sparked a series of events that spread like wildfire throughout the mansion, revealing emails, text messages, and secret recordings that exposed Luna's involvement in unethical transactions, backroom deals, and betrayals that had damaged Forrester Creations' reputation and broken the fragile trust within its inner circle. As the evidence accumulated and rumors became cries, Luna's grip on her story slipped out of her fingers like sand, leaving her exposed, defenseless, and at the mercy of the very system she had previously so expertly controlled. Sheila, who has long been known for her cold, cunning ambition and a propensity to obsess over every little detail in the Forrester drama, was enthralled with the chaos that was developing. While others saw a fallen plotter, Sheila saw a chance to establish her own dominance and demonstrate that, in a world full of treachery and shifting allegiances, she was the only one who actually understood the workings of power. Sheila became obsessed with every aspect of Luna's revealed wrongdoings, going through every document, every conversational fragment, and every digital trace that might further link Luna to a larger network of corruption and dishonesty. Her obsession was fueled by a combination of personal grudges and a desire to restore what she believed to be the proper order. In order to establish an unquestionable case that would not only solidify her position as the company's moral arbiter but also represent a personal victory over someone she had long resented for their crafty and manipulative methods, Sheila spent many late nights in the dimly lit back offices of Forrester Creations. She even traced covert phone calls and meticulously assembled dossiers. There could not have been a more striking contrast between Sheila's methodical, almost clinical obsession and Luna's quick, painful collapse. Sheila's obsession grew steadily, driven by every new piece of evidence and every whispered accusation that confirmed her belief that justice, even if it was delayed, was finally within reach, while Luna's world fell apart in a sudden, explosive manner, leaving her scrambling to salvage what remained of her once impeccable image. Insiders and rival factions alike were closely examining every action and gesture as the scandal played out in real time, with the corridors of Forrester Creations humming with astonished whispers and contentious discussions. It seemed as though the entire future of the Forrester family depended on this one-time event. The repercussions for Luna were fast and harsh. Dependable associates abandoned her, profitable transactions fell through, and the public, which had previously been enchanted by her mysterious appeal, was now solely exposed to the unadulterated reality of her wrongdoings, which destroyed her reputation and cast doubt on her future. Sheila, meanwhile, became a divisive figure as a result of her obsession with revealing every flaw in Luna's painstakingly built armor. While some admired her for her unwavering dedication to eradicating corruption, others despised her because they perceived her as a vindictive opportunist who would compromise morality for her own benefit. The story that had previously portrayed Luna as a sinister mastermind was quickly being rewritten in the days that followed, as social media erupted with hashtags like #BustedLuna and #SheilaStrikesBack. Instead, a tale of hubris, collapse, and the unstoppable emergence of a new power dynamic emerged, in which Sheila's relentless campaign promised to fundamentally alter the foundations of Forrester Creations. These incidents had an impact not only on the mansion but on the entire bold and the beautiful universe, where every boardroom meeting, private conversation in the hallways, and public declaration turned into a battlefield for the hearts and minds of fans who had dedicated decades to these characters' legacy. Luna's supporters grieved that the quick disintegration of her meticulously crafted persona did not adequately capture the complexity and nuance that had once made her an enthralling figure. Critics contended that Luna's downfall, which was caused by her own overreach and made worse by the relentless pressure of a contemporary corporate world, was a natural outcome of a life based on deceit and manipulation. Sheila's change into an obsessive crusader, on the other hand, was praised by some as a much-needed shake-up and an indication that the days of unbridled ambition and covert agendas were finally ending in favor of a new system where responsibility and openness would be paramount. But as the dust settled and the storylines started to converge, it became more and more obvious that the real tragedy was the stark realization that in the brutal world of bold and the beautiful, everyone is subject to the fallout from their deeds, whether it's the abrupt and spectacular demise of a once dominant plotter like Luna or the compulsive, all-consuming desire of someone like Sheila, whose obsession with vengeance has the capacity to change not only her own fate but the course of the Forrester family. The story of Luna's collapsed empire and Sheila's unrelenting obsession served as a powerful reminder of the dual nature of power as rivalries grew and new alliances were formed in the wake of the scandal. It showed that, in a world where every secret is a potential weapon and every whispered rumor is a catalyst for revolution, the price of betrayal is frequently measured in the destruction of dreams and the irreversible loss of trust. Ambition can propel an individual to the highest level of success, but if unchecked, it can also lead to their downfall. The story of Luna and Sheila ultimately serves as a testament to the enduring complexity of human ambition and the unrelenting pursuit of power as the plot of these intertwined destinies develops. It is a tale of obsession and downfall that speaks to the timeless themes of redemption, retribution, and the unrelenting struggle for control in the shadowy corridors of the Forrester empire. Fans are left to wonder, in a world characterized by unrelenting ambition and the ruthless weight of accountability, who really pays the highest price when the masks of deceit are finally brought off. Every new discovery felt like the last nail in the coffin of Hope's formerly unwavering determination, since her world had been destroyed by lies and secrets for so long. In the midst of this unrelenting storm of betrayal, Lee at last mustered the courage to come forward and offer a sincere apology. This moment was both unexpected and cathartic, and it had an impact on every aspect of the family's troubled legacy as well as the sacred halls of Forrester Creations. Lee's apology was a sincere, soul-bearing admission that admitted every error, every planned lie, and every covert manipulation that had contributed to the erosion of confidence over the years. It was not the result of a passing duty or a flimsy attempt to maintain face. As he stood in front of a surprised audience of family members and co-workers, Lee's voice faltered with sincerity as he described the weight of his own guilt and admitted that his actions, which were initially intended to safeguard his own interests, had instead caused strife and suffering among those he was supposed to serve. He promised to repair the bridges he had so carelessly destroyed, and his once aspiration-hardened eyes now glistened with regret and a fervent desire for forgiveness. Everyone in attendance found great resonance in that moment, which demonstrated that there was still hope for atonement and responsibility even in the brutal world of the Forrester legacy. The atmosphere changed visibly as Lee's apologies reverberated around the room, akin to the quiet following a severe storm, laying the groundwork for another crucial moment, Finn's ultimate choice. After years of suffering from the weight of secrets and the incessant tug of competing allegiances, Finn had arrived at a point where he could not turn back. For years, Finn had attempted to strike a balance in his own way between his wish to protect the brittle ties of trust and the harsh reality of betrayals, which had caused him to doubt all of the relationships he had once valued. The emotional toll was enormous, and every restless night and every tear spent in solitude had led to Finn's eventual decision that the days of lying and skirting were done. On a rainy Forrester evening, in a silent but determined moment, Finn collected his thoughts and, with a determination that filled the darkened hallways of his office, proclaimed that he would no longer let the demons of his past control his future. His choice had several components: a resolute attempt to mend the damaged trust that had been lost over time, a dedication to honesty, and the breaking of harmful relationships. Finn's voice came out clear and steady as he addressed his own issues as well as the wider ramifications for the Forrester family, all the while keeping Lee's heartfelt apologies fresh in the air. He acknowledged that the web of deceit had become too complex, that preserving the appearance of peace came at too great a cost, and that genuine atonement necessitated facing unpleasant realities, no matter how excruciating they may be. Finn's ultimate choice at that pivotal time was not only about letting go of past wrongdoings, it was a fundamental act of self-liberation, a proclamation that the deceptions and manipulations that had long stifled his soul would no longer hold him captive. Even though it meant confronting the severe criticism of his former closest allies, he resolved to accept full responsibility for his role in the upheaval and to pave a new course based on honesty and openness. He and many around him who had become tired of the never-ending cycle of dishonesty that had dogged the Forrester legacy for so long found great resonance in the decision. It was a pivotal moment that held the promise of redefining connections and shifting the family's power dynamics, a chance for healing, albeit brittle, in the midst of a landscape tainted by regret and mistrust. A hush descended upon the room as Finn's confession took hold, a silence infused with the tacit knowledge that this marked the start of a protracted and difficult path toward everyone's salvation. A poignant reminder that even in a society where ambition, dishonesty, and unrelenting ambition rule, there is still a spark of humanity that can inspire change was provided by the contrast between Lee's sincere, sobbing apologies and Finn's firm final decision. The terrible reality that every action has repercussions and that sometimes the road to redemption is paved with the bravery to recognize one's sins and ask for forgiveness was highlighted by Lee's apology, with all its unadulterated vulnerability and genuine contrition. Finn's ultimate choice, on the other hand, was a daring rejection of the existing quo, a resounding declaration that he would not be bound by the shackles of previous betrayals, but would instead welcome a future in which integrity and responsibility served as the cornerstones of all interpersonal and professional relationships. That day's emotional terrain was laden with a nuanced interaction between remorse, resolve, and the faint hope for rebirth. The difficult path to self-redemption and the transformational power of vulnerability were demonstrated by every word spoken and every tear shed. A rare moment of truth and reconciliation was witnessed in the corridors of Forrester Creations, which had previously echoed with the clamor of covert agendas and whispered conspiracies. This was the time when the family's legacy was being rewoven with threads of integrity and a renewed commitment to facing the future free from the shadows of the past. The Forrester estate was affected in the weeks that followed by Lee's apology and Finn's ultimate choice. As the barriers of mistrust gradually started to dissolve, co-workers who had previously kept a careful distance started to interact with a newfound sense of unity. Even people who had previously watched the long-running power conflicts in silence were forced to consider how they contributed to the cycle of dishonesty. Particularly, Finn's choice acted as a focal point, a summons to everyone who had grown weary of the unrelenting pace of treachery to accompany him in his quest for a more genuine and open way of life. It was a statement that, even while the scars of the past could never completely heal, the bravery to face reality head-on and the readiness to let go of the resentment that had long plagued individuals caught in the crossfire of ambition and remorse could nevertheless impact the future. The road ahead was not without its difficulties for Finn. The choice to accept an honest future required him to face long-standing enemies, re-evaluate enduring partnerships, and, most difficult of all, restore the broken trust of people he had once loved. Making that last choice, however, was a win in and of itself, a victory over the paralysis of regret, the inertia of fear, and the constant threat of betrayal, even though the way forward was cloaked in ambiguity. In the silent hours that followed his announcement, Finn found himself considering the consequences of his decisions and the potential for a time when the wounds of the past could serve as the cornerstones of a more robust and resilient legacy. For the first time in a long time, he felt that the future was worth fighting for, even though it would necessitate sacrifice, forgiveness, and an uncompromising dedication to the values of truth and accountability. The events of that crucial day in the larger Forrester saga represented not only a personal turning point for Finn and a moment of sincere remorse from Lee, but also a subtly altered plot of Bold and the Beautiful, a story that, in spite of its never-ending cycles of love, treachery, and redemption, keeps changing in ways that push its characters to mature and change. In a society where pride frequently rules supreme, Lee's apology was a rare instance of humility, and Finn's ultimate choice was a daring move toward defining a future characterized by the possibility of fresh starts rather than the faults of the past. The journey toward forgiveness is as much about regaining one's own sense of self-worth as it is about healing damaged relationships with those who have caused profound wounds. Taken together, these instances were a potent reminder that redemption is always possible, even though it is never simple. There was a calm resolve in the air as the sun sank on that momentous day, spreading long shadows over the marble corridors and reverberating halls of Forrester Creations. This was a communal recognition that the road to healing was now open, despite the fact that it was a long and uncertain one. Even in the most turbulent of circumstances, having the guts to confront the truth and the resolve to forge a new course can pave the way for change, atonement, and the promise of a better, more honest tomorrow. Finn, Lee, and everyone else impacted by the events of that day would carry the memory of that moment as a warning and a ray of hope.